All right, so you've got a trick apparently to.
Well, yeah, this, water's nice, but it takes a while. It gets all over the place. What I've learned to do is, if you're in a hurry, and even if you're not, the first thing to do when a car's been sitting this long is probably blow the dust off of it, because water's not going to do that.
Right.
Water's just going to dribble it down. This will actually force it away from the car. Okay? And of course, the convertible top, this one is particularly one's made out of Stayfast, because I don't use the old canvas stuff because it's too fragile. But clearly, it does not like to be washed a lot.
Yeah, see?
It's rugged, but you can see how quickly you can do this. I mean, I can do the whole car in a couple of minutes. Some of it obviously is not going to come off with an air hose, but
you get a lot.
Especially the top, I want to clean off. And
well, then you have a lot less. You have a lot less to wash off later.
Exactly. You see, there's quite a bit on it. It's been sitting for months. In Arizona, you don't need to close the garage because there's no humidity anyway. So that's about it. Buick dealer on the East Coast, a big Buick. I had several dealerships, and he was after this car and got it away from the guy that had it. It was originally, I believe, from Southern California, and then got in the hands of Al Eggleston, who is a very, very well-known collector of all kinds of cars, and he loved this car. And it was never actually for sale. I had to twist his arm a little bit to get him to sell it, because he'd driven the car and he knew the car quite well.
Yeah.
He knew its history and he knew that it was a good car, and he had his shop go through it and make sure everything was functional, because Al is not one to deal with problems. He just fixes them. Got that side. We'll open the door over there and we'll blow all the...
Can we open the other door?
Yeah.
Just blow it right through.
Right through, yep. Get start at the top. Get the dash, window sills. Get right out. And get the back seat as well. Back seat will aggregate some dust. But lift the... It still has the original mat in it. I don't think I've ever seen more than 2 or 3 of them in original usable shape, but this one is actually still here. It's obviously preserved. Okay, that's it. There's your 2-minute air wash. So now we can go out and finish it with a little bit of water, and
it'll be cleaned up and good to go.
yeah, it'll be good to go. Okay. This has the unique feature that Buicks have in it, where you can actually push on the gas pedal. It goes all the way down and starts the car. So there really is no key required. And of course it's a NI theft return, because of course most people who might want to steal the car have no idea how to start it, which is not a bad thing. So you can put a key in it to lock it, but you can't start it. You have to know that trick about it, and that was built at the factory. They used that for a number of years. One of their signature technological advancements over other people in General Motors, and they were constantly doing that thing, much to the irritation, especially Cadillac, because Cadillac, if you know about that period, had a flathead engine, which was kind of outdated, and they carried that right up through this same period, which meant that the Buicks were much faster and much better performers than Cadillac. I had a 41 Cadillac convertible at one time, and Greg Field, a guy who started the Buick Club, and I were out and together. He had one of these, same color actually, and he pulled up alongside my 41 Cadillac, and we kind of stared at him, and I said, well, there they are, the 41 Cadillac convertible and the 41 Buick convertible. He said, he's asked me, he said, what do you think? I said, I think I'm selling mine and getting one of yours. So that's how this car came into my possession. The event was over. Got a light spritz here. Now, Tim, we don't have to fool with the top, and the top, of course, is how you get water in, and you get it on the interior, and that's just not good. So, I'm going to put a little bit back here on the top, on the back, but I really want to get it wet so that we can wipe it down and get most of the...
Just kind of soften up some of that.
Yeah, some of the stuff
some
that's
of the
sitting
goo
there maybe needs to be wiped off, but
yep.
it's going to work better if we just wet it down. Get that process started. Not going to fool with a white wall today. That's a whole different...
That's a project all by itself, right?
That's graduate level stuff. Not really. It's not that complicated, but...
Just another bit of work.
Yeah. Towel. Get some old towels. Some of the abrasives that are... You want to keep changing the towels because you don't want that abrasive to be used when you're drying the rest of the car. So we're going to go through 2 or 3 of them here, and maybe do one on the front, one in the middle, one in the back. And you start on the hood because it's the one that's going to dry out first. Okay. Glass has to come along pretty quickly thereafter, otherwise it'll spot. Just get it wiped down. Okay. Now this is a light colored car, so it's hard to see the water. If it was a darker color, you would see the water a lot more easily. But this is Arizona, so we're not real fond of dark cars, not that much, because they tend to be hotter. And in this particular case, this is a Sequoia Cream, which was a color that was offered in 1940, the year before this car was built. But they had, as a standard practice at Buick, you could have, I think it was $60 extra, you could have any Buick painted in the color of a previous year. So that took in a lot of colors, because previous year means any previous year.
Oh, wow.
And a number of the people that bought them were upset because the Sequoia Cream wasn't available in 41, so they opted to pay a little extra and have the car painted in whatever color they liked.
Right.
This particular car is really just works in Sequoia Cream. It's all, well, there isn't a bad color for it, but in Arizona,
but obviously this is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to complement the lines of the car. Most light colors actually do the opposite. This car is so striking that it doesn't hurt to be kind of toned down a little bit. There is also a metallic silver that is absolutely gorgeous, and I think that was a 41 color. That's the only other color I've seen. Black doesn't really do it any favors because it kind of tends to disappear like black does to any body style. It works in some cases, but it just doesn't in others. And
yeah, you know, that's a fascinating whole subject by itself.
Yeah, it really is.
Certain colors work better on certain cars.
Yeah, I'm just helping a customer of mine pick a color on a 50s car, and it's tough because they had all these garish colors back then, so people are expecting to see, you know, turquoise and kind of tomato red and all these strange things, and sometimes even two-tones, which I'm not, believe me, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, and I think in some cases there were even 3 tones in some cars.
Yeah, it got pretty weird there, and it just looks busy. And if the body style is clean and attractive and timeless, It doesn't need 2 or 3 colors. In fact, it kind of detracts in my mind. So we're going to change towels because that one's getting dirty.
Okay.
Another problem with these expensive wipes that they sell, when they get dirty, what do you do with them? You have to go over and wash them and clean them out. Well, meanwhile, back at the car, the water is evaporating. Now, if you want to make quick work of this, you're not going to do it with one towel, not with a car that has approximately 2.5 acres of car to cover.
Right.
You
So a
can do
big
that with
towel just helps you absorb a lot more for longer.
Yeah, and exactly. And these cars are large and a lot of square feet, so you need to bring enough to do the job and keep moving because
Classic car quick clean tips by J.B. Donaldson.
Yes. Well, I've done a few of them
Yeah.
in my time.
Just a few.
Just a few. And you know, it's one of those things that falls to you. I don't care how well-to-do you are. If you want to drive a car and you don't have a man standing around, you're going to be washing your car.
Yep.
There's no shame in that. In fact, it's kind of fun to learn how to do it and to do it well.
Well, I think
They
we
never
talked
look
about
better
this.
than right after they're washed.
Yeah, and we talked about this before about how there's something about a deeper appreciation for some of the lines and features on a car when you're washing it.
Exactly,
you kind of
'cause you're
notice
making
some
a
things.
tactile connection
Yeah.
between you and the car. If you have somebody else wash your cars, I would advise you to at least try it, because you come into contact with areas of the car you didn't even know existed, because you're busy world and things are going 150 miles an hour. This is one way to slow it down.
Yeah, and
to
you
get
can kind of,
involved.
like you're saying, tactily, you kind of feel the shape a little bit.
Oh yeah, you do, absolutely. And of course these 30s and 40s cars have a lot of round curves, and it's just a way to more of an appreciation for the car itself if you have to wash it yourself.
You know, it's just impressive to me how in a few minutes this car is just looking showroom
it
ready.
transforms it, and that's the other part of it that is really rewarding, is that you see it covered with dirt, and you see it, you know, after it's lived in the real world for a little while.
Yep.
And one of the reasons we like light colored cars in Arizona is because A, they don't get hot, and B, they don't show the dirt as easily. So you're not doing this every hour.
Right.
You know, and with a black car or a dark blue car, you'll be doing that a lot. And I advised one of my clients, recently as yesterday, that you need to stay away from dark colors in Arizona. If you're really going to keep it and drive it and take care of it, you don't want to do that on a car that's difficult to do. And dark cars just, I mean, they look dirty in half an hour after you wash them. And that's just not any fun. Okay. So that's pretty much it. We're not going to obsess over anything like hubcaps and tires and that sort of thing.
We're not doing a detail. We do a quick
we're
wash
not doing
here.
a deep dive into this, as they say.
Yep.
We just want to get it presentable.
Well, this thing cleaned up really beautifully. Again, without even having to detail it. It's just amazing.